All right, welcome everybody to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast. Coach Derek Johnson, accompanied by Coach and Freestyle Greco Director, Min USA Liaison, Ride Giver, about to go to Washington, so go cross-country trekker and everything, Mr. Gabe Hovden. And I said right before we got on here, because we had a loud... someone was doing power cleans or something. We are adjacent right now to our brand new, amazing weight room, but track and field is still doing some powerlifting right now, so that might be what you hear from time to time, and we're not going to make Mr. Scott Summer kind of comb through the entire episode to make sure it's
muffle
okay.
That out. That was it's loud. If you when they drop away, you're gonna hear it.
Right. So you just kind of have to bear with us a little bit. And you know what? I'm gonna say that this week then is co-opted. So it's Mr. Summer Media Solutions, and we're gonna say co-sponsoring with the Flemke Agency. So Scott Summer, who does everything for us. There's the boom. As far as social media for the Owatonna Wrestling Association, anything you see, high school, middle school, youth, the graphics at the home wrestling meets, everything like that. If you're looking for services that look that professional, you can go to Summer Media Solutions. He's all over social media and everything like that. I know other organizations have already pounced on him for hockey and other promo work, so that's great. We love to see him succeed. And then the Flemke Insurance Agency with their new downtown location, Mr. Ben Flemke and his staff, they're looking to basically be your sports agent, and they're going to go out and do the hard work for you in free agency, getting you a brand new policy. Yeah, the best deal for you, home, auto, life, all of that. So, and commercial especially. So thank you to Flemke Insurance Agency as well. So.
Well, it's been 3 weeks since we sat down.
Yep, we had some life get in the way here and there, and that'll happen. And then spring break as well. Yep. So in this time, we had Owatonna alum Mr. Peyton Robb become a 3-time All-American. So congratulations. I mean, his story is well documented as far as going from that horrible infection about a year ago, right around Nationals time last year, literally fighting for his life, and then coming back and having a very successful end to his collegiate career. Proud of him in so many ways. We already were, because he's just a great kid. Great leader, his work ethic, everything. He's just so incredibly dedicated.
Attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything about the kid.
Brother, you name it. So congratulations to him, and what a way to go out. And we had some hard fought battles too. Mr. Jacob Bernardi over at Moorhead State. He had a great season as well. So technically, what would this be? His redshirt freshman season, or
I know.
Did he?
He redshirted last year. Okay. It would be his first. It's his first season. I mean,
I think they would consider that redshirt freshman.
Okay,
implying that he redshirted last year. Yep. So congratulations to him. Blake West at Northern Illinois qualified for the tournament. So
to get there is one thing.
Yeah,
I was looking at them like, God, there's 2 Owatonna kids.
Especially when Northern Illinois isn't in the Big Ten, and as we know, they had so many at-large bids automatically out of the Big Ten because it is the toughest conference. But to be outside of that conference, then you really have to earn every single inch of that. So congratulations to him too. So,
and then also, Cale Robb, talked to him. It's a redshirt year. Mm-hmm. He's putting in the work, and then I talked to him earlier this season and talked to him halfway through, and he said, "Yep, I'm done going to open tournaments. Now I'm just a practice guy."
Yeah.
Help the good guys get better and help myself get better.
That's good. And Landon Johnson, first year in the starting lineup for NDSU as a redshirt freshman. That's such a grown man weight, and he's so incredibly smart and great at adapting that he took the lumps that you're going to take. Anyone, it seems like, unless you are a Penn State wrestler, your freshman year is going to be pretty rough. So, he definitely adapted and finished pretty darn strong, and we look forward to seeing his career too for the Bison. So, yes.
So that's alumni. So now, any news with the high school?
For the high school, we are knee deep in freestyle, Greco. our weightlifting program. We have a lot of kids in spring sports, and we do encourage that a lot. I don't want single sport athletes by any means, but it never hurts to get some extra mat time. And then our rule is, as long as you are weightlifting with a program, so if you're not in a high school spring sport, then we say you need to lift with us.
Yep.
You need to train the right way. Otherwise, you are lifting with this program as a part of like track and field, lacrosse, baseball's getting into it now. You know, everybody loves the flashy new weight room, so those sports are taking advantage of it. So that's good.
I know we got a couple girls that some are playing softball.
Yeah,
So we got you got to throw softball in there. I know they're in there lifting.
That's good.
I mean, during practice. So we got them all going.
Well, and speaking of, since we're only 2 weeks out, why don't you talk about what's going on with the girls?
Oh, so we got 3 girls heading out to Spokane, Washington next weekend. They're going out to try. 2 of them are going to try out for the U15 World Team.
The World
Team.
That's amazing.
So, and then 1 trying out for the U20. That one is going to be tough. Because she's going to be wrestling some girls that are probably in college.
So that's Isabel Townley, junior, going for the U20, and then the 2 girls for U14.
Aaliyah and Kayla. Sorry, I always call her
Aaliyah Fisher.
I always call her Michaela, and she just looks at me with that no smile, straight face. Her natural reaction to everything.
She's a killer.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, them 2 are going for U15, and Isabel's going for U20.
That's an incredible opportunity.
Yes.
So it's out in Spokane, Washington.
And if they make it, it's going to be one heck of an experience for them. Just going out to this tournament, they're going to see if they want to go, continuing to go high-end wrestling, they're going to see it out there.
Well, it's a great chance for exposure, too. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of college, now that women's college wrestling is really taking off and growing.
Yeah, and growing.
I would be willing to bet there's going to be some scouts out there that way too. So
I'm sure I'm not just only scouts, coaches, just out there coaching.
Right.
I mean, their kids are going to be out there. The girls are going to be out there. So
sure.
I'm just excited to go out there and watch the women's, the all the uppers just wrestle and see how
the seniors,
tough and see how tough these women really are. I mean, I know they are. I mean, for the sport it is. So, and then freestyle seasons, we're full effect now. We're a go. Practices, we're trying to work to get. We got it set now because of weightlifting with the high school. We are, just to give the quick update on here, we sent out an email tonight. Starting tomorrow night, I know it's going to be confusing. Some kids that still ain't registered yet ain't going to get the emails. But if you're watching this, K through 5th grade or pre-K through 5th grade is 6 to 7 o'clock. And 6th grade to seniors is 7 to 8 o'clock. Starting that tomorrow night, Thursday, hopefully it's a full go. The high school kids, don't let me down. I need people in that room for me to stay until 8 o'clock because work, I get up pretty early. So
we added that to their sports engine calendar on the high school side.
Yep.
I added the older class.
So that just went out on the high school side, not onto...
Right. I changed your freestyle Greco all the way through.
Yep.
So you see both practices and they're bracketed out. But then for the high school, I only added theirs to the schedule.
Yep.
And then middle school, I'll be doing that too so that they know.
With the 2 practices, little kids, older kids are going to be learning the exact same moves.
Sure.
Same ways. There's not going to be any... The high school kids ain't going to get any more advantage over the little kids. I'm learning moves. Freestyle moves are freestyle moves. I mean, it's gut wrenches, just like we've been doing. Gut wrenches, leg laces, arm throws. Now we've learned a little bit this last weekend. I had 3 show up. We went out to Lake Crystal, the Tonleys, Trevor and Isabel. Then Garrett Springboard. I hope I said his last name right. Them 3 went out. It was a Greco freestyle tournament. They were all a little nervous about the Greco part because you had to wrestle Greco.
Yeah.
If you're going to wrestle the freestyle. I understand the concept of it, but some kids just don't want to wrestle Greco.
Right.
And they kind of were forced to, and so, I mean, it's experience.
Yeah.
They all went third place, 4-man brackets. So it's new to them.
Right.
It is new. Trevor had some great matches. They did moves that they normally don't move. I think everybody got a gut wrench.
Oh, that's good.
So, I mean, they did the moves we're learning in practice. Their takedowns went great. Greco was a little, for Garrett, it's new. He's only, I think he's fourth grade or fifth, U12 would be about fifth grade. Sixth grade.
Yep.
If he came out, he went after him, and he came off the mat one time a little disappointed. I thought, hey, we're learning here. It's not, you did something you haven't done before.
Yep.
So that turned him around. But Trevor was a little, he went out just to wrestle mat time.
For sure.
He when I was coaching one match, I turned around and his match was already over. He goes, yeah, he got a leg lace on me, and it went pretty quick.
That's how quick it can go.
It could go. I'm like, oh, okay. He goes,
freestyle.
Yeah, he didn't get it wasn't a good takedown, but he got me down and got my legs. I didn't get my leg hidden. And
sure.
Isabel, we had one girl that was a little bit of a nemesis to us. She would get in on the underhook, and we couldn't get out of it. And as soon as Isabel, she just baited her to throw a headlock. So she would throw a headlock, and that girl would drop and get her too.
Yeah.
And she would get in on that underhook again, and it's like, you got to head position, get out of that underhook. And she just couldn't. And as soon as she would reach up to get out of that head position and push her away, the girl dropped down and get a leg on her. So it's something we're going to work on tomorrow night in practice.
Sure.
But all in all, it was a good tournament.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Next weekend, I hope we have a few more show up. It'll be on the calendar. I'm going to put all the tournaments we are going to, because there is a couple towns that have tournaments at the same time. We're going to go to the closer one or the better opportunity for our kids.
Okay. Sure.
I'll be posting that tonight on the Sports Engine schedule. What tournaments we're going to every weekend. I want to say this weekend is Friday night is Northfield, and Saturday is Eastview.
Okay.
We will only be going to Eastview unless majority of the kids say we want to wrestle Friday night, not Saturday. Then we'll go to Northfield. But I'm not going to push two tournaments in one weekend.
Yeah, right.
This is fun wrestling, so that's the way I'm going to try and keep it.
Good deal. Nice.
But got about 40 kids, 42 signed up. About consistently between 22 to 27 showing up to practice. So
that's good.
We'll see now that spring break's over.
Yeah, that was a big factor right there.
Yep.
So, yep. Awesome. Well, we got that going. We have our middle school. We have a small team going to NYWA Middle School Team State this Thursday, Friday. That wraps up the folk style portion of middle school wrestling. Goes pretty late this year, which is not ideal.
Nope.
But yeah, that'll also kind of free up some things for Freestyle Greco, hopefully, and we keep that going.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're doing that Thursday, Friday over at Mayo Civic Center. Should be a good time. And yeah, and then it's just Freestyle Greco the rest of the way. We have also coming up this month, we have our Owatonna Wrestling Banquet. That's Sunday, April 21st at the Eagles Club at 5:30 p.m. That is open to the public. It's the awards ceremony for the high school and middle school teams. All wrestlers and managers get in for free, and then everyone else, it's $15 at the door. It is also like in itself a fundraiser. And yeah, just a great opportunity, recognizing all the hard work that these kids put in and recognizing some volunteers from the community as well. So that's Sunday, April 21st. And yeah, looking forward to that. So.
Spaghetti dinner also.
Spaghetti dinner, May 9th. May 9th, yes. So there are tickets out there, $10 a ticket. About half of those proceeds goes to KC Hall and half goes to the Owatonna Wrestling Association. That's a fundraiser that is basically designed to help us pay for, basically kind of help kids financially with summer camps. If you haven't had a kid in the wrestling program in a while, like a 3-day camp is about $400 no matter where you go, let alone a week-long camp.
Yeah,
they get exorbitant amount of money.
Pricier.
Yeah, so we never want finances to really limit a family enjoying the sport or anything like that. So the Owatonna Wrestling Association works really hard to reimburse, to make it as affordable as possible. The big contributions actually came out from the community for that Spokane,
Yes.
Washington trip, to where
Yes.
I mean, is there even any money that's really being paid out of pocket, or like
to whoever donated? I'd like to say thank you very much.
Yeah, that was incredible.
It just 2 people donated. I don't know how much I can say. Drove out of town and went to somebody's house or somebody's business. Said this is for the girls.
Yeah.
Going to Spokane. We're donating whatever they have to do to get this money flowing through the club. This money is for the girls. So whoever the 2 people were, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I know the girls appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know the whole club does it. It helps out a lot.
Yes, absolutely. So that's what Owatonna Wrestling's about. We say we're the authority for a reason, and it's things like that because we help our own and boost each other up. And so, yeah, thank you to them. And like I said, that's the purpose of the spaghetti dinner, is to work towards, helping out every single family that wants to go to a wrestling camp this summer. So, but yeah, well, we will be, speaking of the wrestling community, we'll be right back with a pretty darn big name, at least in my world.
Yeah, back in my day too.
Yeah,
exactly. Kind of like a big brother a real big brother, older big brother than my big brother, but somebody who spent a lot of time with me.
Awesome. We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back to the Owatonna Wrestling Weekly Podcast. Coach Hovden and I are accompanied this week by state champion wrestler, Mr. Greg Karsten. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good. Well, and I said before this, so, I mean, he's already like cackling over there. Hovden's going to have a lot more ins and outs and lead him in some good directions on this interview, so I'm anxious to see where this goes.
We'll keep it clean.
I did want to mention, though, because when you came in, you were saying, like, you remember me and my brother kind of little toddlers running around the high school room, and it is a very core memory of me of seeing you having buzzed lines in your hair and then demanding that we go to whatever cost cutters that night and get those put into the side of my head immediately. So you affected my style, basically. So yeah, but yeah.
Well, yeah. So we got Greg Karsten here. What year did you graduate in?
92.
92. So class of 92. Who all was with you your senior year?
Gabe Hovden, Brian Byer, Mark Model.
Gabe Vietz.
Or Gabe Vietz, sorry.
Not me, I'm younger.
Gabe Vietz, Jeremy Schubert. He was a junior that year.
Okay. All right. What did you guys, who was your, the team? Was it still Apple Valley?
It was Apple Valley.
Okay. So, let's hear a little bit about your wrestling career. Starting out, when did you start wrestling?
I started in 7th or 8th grade, and then went right into freestyle Greco in the off seasons, and did that all the way through my senior year.
Okay. Who got you going into wrestling? Who got you? Like, hey, you need to come out for this sport.
I believe it was your mom and dad, Larry and Linda, that they dragged me around to all the freestyle tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah, because you lived right up the road from us.
Yep.
I have a lot of memories of Greg being the big guy, about 6 years older than me. About 5 years older than me. And just what Greg said, we did. Greg was the big cool guy in the neighborhood. I used to, hang out with Danny, your little brother. We'd come up, pester you, and stuff like that. So when you were wrestling, who was your practice partners? Because you were upper weights. You were, at that time, was it heavyweight or 189?
9th grade was heavyweight, and rest of and 10th grade, and then 189. Okay. Senior year.
Okay. So there's your senior year, you were state champion.
Yep.
Who was it that you had in the finals? Do you remember?
Dan Devine.
Devine. Okay. So St. Paul?
Yep.
Okay. What else do we got?
Well, so, talking about like practice partners, were you then, like Vietz, did you guys kind of just flip? Did he go heavyweight and you went 89 type of deal?
Yeah, he wasn't much bigger than me.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I remember I remember being on the gym floor, the stands were too packed, and we had Apple Valley, we had, was it Carl?
Carl
The
Jones.
Truth Jones.
Carl the Truth Jones. I remember those type of packed houses. I remember, were you still, or was Bauer coming through yet by the time you graduated, or was he a little too young for
He
that?
was a little too young.
Okay, gotcha. So, no, those were, that section. I mean, it's you guys, Valley, and Faribault, all top 5 teams in the state in the same section, right?
Was Simley in
No,
the section? They moved
no.
up the year before.
Yeah, we
Or-
beat them our senior year easily.
Okay. Yep.
Nice. You hear that, Inver Grove Heights? No, that's awesome. And so, I remember you and Vietz. Danny, how many years younger was he?
3.
3 years younger? Okay.
Yep.
So did you actually, scrap it all, you and him?
Not as we got older, no.
Yeah, I suppose,
We
the
were
weight
kids.
differential. Because he
Yes.
was, 45, 52?
Yeah.
Kind of by his senior year?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So how much smaller was Brian Byers than you then?
Not too much.
Okay.
I weighed 185.
Okay. So here's the story we were talking about off air before you got on, and I just got to ask. So when I came through, Mr. Davis never wrestled with anybody. He would show the moves, but he would never practice with anybody. Was there I'm going to poke you here. Was there a time that you challenged him, and can you explain what happened?
I didn't really challenge him. It was 9th or 10th grade, and I got a little cocky, and he put me in my place. And
So he was a legit wrestler then still,
yes,
too.
he
Okay.
did hit the mat.
Yeah, so I've heard that story a couple times, and I've never asked you about it until today. I've always wondered because I just wondered if he ever, was he as good as I've just heard rumors, and I was wondering if he was good as what he said.
Yeah.
Okay. So your freestyle career, freestyle and Greco. Where did you all get to travel to in your time of wrestling freestyle and Greco?
The farthest was New Mexico City for nationals.
Okay.
It was teams made up of surrounding states.
Okay. So back then, I think that was before they actually called it the Minnesota Storm.
Yeah.
It was just the best of the state, and they went to a Minnesota team.
Yep.
Okay. How'd you fare down there?
2 golds.
2 golds. Okay.
Jeez.
Freestyle and Greco?
Yep.
See guys, here's another state champion, freestyle Greco wrestler.
So what? Because I don't have a memory of this anyway. What was kind of your go-to on your feet?
Oh, headlock.
Headlock, big time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about okay? So for example, freestyle Greco. Are you gut wrenching? What are you doing on the mat?
Front headlocks.
Okay.
Arm bars.
Okay. Gotcha. How about in folk style? What are you doing on top in folk style?
Go for cradles.
Oh, really?
Near side cradles.
Near side.
Yep.
Nice. What was the score of your finals match against Divine?
8-3.
Oh wow, handled.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Was it ever really in
I
doubt?
even got a takedown by shooting a single.
Really threw some salt on
He
the
was
wound
not
then?
caught. He was caught off guard.
Thought you were going for the head.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and so you were a freshman heavyweight. That had to be pretty darn tough,
Yep.
especially an undersized one.
Yeah.
What did you do to adapt and really improve to where you're freshman heavyweight and then by senior year you're winning state at 89?
It just worked. Just constantly worked.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was 1-13 as a freshman.
1-13 as a freshman, and then
A state champion by the time your senior year.
That sounds like, that's why I love the sport the most, honestly, is because it's it doesn't, once you get past 5th grade, talent doesn't matter as much as other sports. It's just work at that
Yes.
point. So, yeah, that's incredible.
So who was the coaching staff when your 4 years coming through? Because I know when I came through right behind you, because I was, I think, a 7th grader when you would have been a senior when I was at 7th grade. Who was your coaching staff?
Davis, Bob Phillips, Jeff Becker,
Okay. So
your
back-
dad.
Yep.
And then Steve LeCount would come in and do hand control and
Okay.
different specialized stuff.
Okay. Was Crutlow in there yet?
Nope.
Nope, Crutlow wasn't. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's probably still competing. 92.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He was still in college. Okay. No, because I was just kind of curious on how big the staff was when you were coming through. Because for some reason, I just can't remember who was all there at the time.
Yeah, and like Pat McCann, he would
He was
freestyle and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
A lot of freestyle with Pat too.
Yep. So Bob was doing both freestyle and high school at that time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I just remember going to, because when we came through freestyle, the open tournaments, it was every weekend, the first weekend after the state high school tournament.
Yes.
And we would all pile in, and I know Greg would, my parents' van, there was, 10 of us, and everybody would pile in that van, and Greg would get in the back and say, "You little guys, get in the front," and he'd just take up the whole back of the van and just lay there, and he would let whoever he wanted back there laying on the floor with him. That's who got to go back there at that time. The rest of us had to sit in the seats, because before seatbelt laws, so there'd be 14 of us, 15 of us in a 8-passenger van heading to Hayfield or Waseca or Janesville or wherever we were headed. So,
yeah, it was always good representation. What? So, do you have any favorite moments? Doesn't even have to be like a match, but just favorite memories from tournaments, traveling, buddies, anything like that kind of sticks out that you can say on camera and not get in trouble for?
One of my favorite moments was senior year when we wrestled at Apple Valley in regions. It came down to Gabe Beats. He had to win against Carl, and Carl was a couple of times state champion. And Gabe went out there and lateral dropped him in the first couple of seconds. And the place just went nuts. That's probably my favorite memory of all of them.
I remember that. I remember sitting there and it was up at Apple Valley. Yep. I remember when all of a sudden he just went flying, and it was like, oh my God, we're gonna win. And yeah, that was a very great experience to see that.
Yeah. Gabe ended up losing 7-5 or 7-6. It was close.
Jeez. So great. Well, what are you up to nowadays?
I am a member of the Steele County Free Fair Board.
Okay.
So I help run the parts of the fair. I help run the youth pool league, and then I help run the adult pool league in town. Billiard pool. Working, enjoying life.
Yeah, that's good.
How's the kids doing? How many kids you get?
I
mean, I know the answer to this, but how's the kids doing?
I have 3 of my own, and Jamie has 2 boys. Yep, and the oldest one's Zach. He's going to be a dad in June. So going to be a grandpa.
Oh boy,
that's kind of scary.
Oh man, yeah, that absolutely flies. Well, that's good. Well, how about anybody you want to say hi to? Any shout outs you want to do here?
I'll do a shout out to my dad. He loved wrestling. He was basketball when we growing up, and he stayed huge fan of the sport till the day he passed. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, because I remember your dad just all of a sudden, boom, you just show up. It's like, whoa, where'd you come from, Steve? But yeah,
that's great.
Other than that, hey, you're more than welcome anytime you want to come into the room. I say this to everybody I've been on here. You want to come into freestyle and show your favorite move? You're more than welcome to come in, and because I got some heavyweights in there that I think they're pretty tough. And to have an old heavyweight show them how to throw a real headlock, you're more than welcome to come on in anytime.
Okay.
So just stretch a little bit first.
Yeah. Make sure you stretch. Especially your legs.
Yeah, and speaking of, we said this before camera too. I mean, you're just such a big presence, and here's Gabe and I just little. So now we've had Eli Ross, just a monster, and Spencer Sorensen, a monster. We have Greg Karsten, a monster. It's like we got to get some lightweights in. Like, dang it, we need some guys under 5'5".
We were the lightweights.
I know,
we're here all the time, right? So we got to find somebody else.
Exactly.
Josh Sorensen.
There we go. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Love having you on. And like I said, I grew up just absolutely idolizing the Karsten brothers. It was you guys in Brussels were the three wrestlers that I would be, screwing around in the senior commons. But as soon as, Russell, Danny, or Greg are up, I was right back in, like glued to the mat watching. So, you're a big deal. And thank you for taking the time and everything.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for having me.
yeah.
All right. Well, freestyle wrap up here. Make sure you're looking at Sports Engine for all time schedule changes.
Yep.
And tournaments will be posted tonight onto the schedule on Sports Engine. Any questions? My number's out there. Give me a call or text, and I'll respond as soon as I can.
Awesome.
Other than that,
sounds good. Thanks again to Summer Media Solutions and the Flemke Insurance Agency. So we will talk to you next week.
see ya.
Take care.